ladies and gentlemen. I was just talking to myself. Damn, and I wasn't deep in the conversation I was just doing. I feel an idiot right now. When my father, we're gonna talk about parents passing away and this and that, why this slowed to a while. My father had liver disease since I can remember getting out of high school and graduating, and that's when liver disease started. And he was stubborn, old man, I'll tell you. He just could not tell you. He was like, oh, one day he broke his arm and didn't scream and you hollered and go, oh God, it's right to the hospital. He came home. A gentleman brought him home and say, oh, I think I broke my arm. I'm just gonna go to bed and watch TV. Aren't you gonna go to the hospital? No. I think it's just a really bad bruise. I don't think I actually broke my arm. And he was drunk, so he said a mixture of things. And then next morning, I was like, I think I broke my arm. It's like, are you gonna go to the hospital? No, it'll heal itself. 3 days later, that thing is a big freaking pus ball of fucking blood. And it was just getting bigger and swollen. He eventually went to the doctors, and they did surgery on him, gave him some stitches and stuff like that, gave him a cast. And when they took the cast off, he was like, that did not hurt at all. And after that, I told myself, my dad can be that strong against pain and all that. He showed me courage and bravery. Not crying, not going straight to the hospital. He just said it'll heal on its own. And how can somebody just sit there and have, amounts of pain shooting from their arm, and he just sat there like, oh, can you help me get up? I can't get up. Yeah, oh, slowly. Or can you get me my drink? I forgot my drink over there. Oh yeah, I'll get it, Dad. Or I'll go get his drink for him, and I'll put it down, and he's sitting there with his own spleen like, when I was in the army, and we broke our arms, we just took 2 sticks, put them on both sides, bandaged it up, and said, let's continue training. And I was like, what the hell? I thought my dad was freaking Rambo for a minute. And this was amazing. The stories he brought up when his arm was broken, the stuff that actually came out. And then things took from that point to critically worse. His diabetes were kicking up a lot more than they should have been. Blood sugar was going through the roof. He started drinking like crazy, taking me to bars, and I kind of knew, I think his time was coming. So I'm still going to have fun with my dad. We went to so many freaking bars. We went to a bar. We went to the yacht club. We went over to Woody's. We went over down to Sanibel and went to a Rib Shack. And we went to Hooters and Fort Myers Beach. Now, we don't go for the girls. A lot of people are like, well, you went to Hooters. You're a perv. I'm like, we didn't go there for the girls. Not once did I look at the girls' boobs or ass. I looked at her eyes and said thank you, and I went back to eating my wings. The wings there are good at Hooters, okay? And plus, the girls are really nice there. And the chefs are amazing if you get a chance to talk to them. I was talking to a chef. His name was, can't remember his name. I think it was like, he had a weird name. I'm trying to remember how to pronounce it. I don't know how to say it. He had a foreign name. It was crazy. I didn't know how to spell it. And his dude could just cook. I'm telling you, you watched him sitting at the bar and you just look right at him. You're seeing meat fly everywhere. You're seeing it so quick. You're seeing him grab bread and it's over in the sky going to his left. It was just amazing watching how quick. And he would say, order up number 4, and they would bring it. you know, and you put a sticker and you keep going. And I'm looking at this guy like, how long did this guy do it? And my dad said, how long have you been working here? Looks like you're really good. The guy says, oh, before this, I was in the Navy. I was a chef. I'm like, Dad, you were? I was in the Army. I was artillery. I was I think it's private third class. I gotta go get his piece of paper, but it was private third class, I'm thinking. Specialist third class, something like that. I gotta go grab his papers. Later I'll do that and I'll explain to you about that. But his kidneys acted up after that, and one day I was going to the store. I was just going there to get a PSN gift card and, you know, get my mom some flowers and get maybe dad a card I can sign and give it to him. Mom can give it to him, because I could not bear seeing him in the hospital like this, so I didn't go. And the first time we got that call, my mom called me and said, Charlie, we're taking your dad to the hospital. He has been completely motionless and non-responsible for 2 hours. And I'm sitting there like, I just saw him. He was laying down and I gave him a piece of chicken I got from McDonald's. How is he laying there for 2 hours and not being responsive? Well, it's a 1 hour walk there and an hour walk back. But I didn't really just go straight to Publix. I went to the clubhouse for a little while to work out, and then I started heading over there and then check on my mom. Calls like, we're taking your dad to the hospital. He's non-responding for 2 hours. And I look out the window and I just see the ambulance come from the direction where my house is, and 2 police cars behind it, and 1 police car in front, and they're just shooting down the road like crazy. And I was like, I stood there like, oh my god. The cash register person looked at me the weirdest look, and I just left that store, called my mom and saying, are you gonna back? And I said, I'm at Publix, I don't feel like walking all the way back, can you come get me? And I didn't buy those gift cards, and my mom took me, and when we got there, they wouldn't let us see him for a couple minutes. About an hour or 2 minutes gone by, and then we were able to go see him. He was in critical condition. They had a tube down his throat. He had internal bleeding. They said his blood pressure is dropping, his kidneys are failing, and I told him, this old fart is strong. He'll come home. That's the last thing I said to him. You old fart, you will be strong, and you will come home, and we can go to Hooters and have fun and drink beers. Later that night, my mom comes home from the hospital saying, your dad might not live. Your dad might not live. Come see him. I was so tired, I didn't go. But when I said old fart strong, I just remember his eyes looking at me. Like he was proud of me for seeing happiness and strength before it was even done. So it came around 2 a.m. I was sleeping. 3 a.m. came around. I was sleeping. 4 a.m. I woke up a little bit, got a drink, went back to sleeping. Wondering about my dad the whole time. And then 6 a.m. came around. Mom comes through that door all sad. I just wake up from the crying. I looked at her and I said, Mom, what's wrong? And she didn't say anything. She got a glass of water, took a big gulp, put it on the counter, pulled a chair over. Now, my mom's never done that to me. And she says, your father passed away 5 o'clock. They took him off the antibiotics. Because they were trying to change him. And his heart stopped. His blood sugar plummeted from the virus in his kidneys, spread to his vital organs. And that's when I said, you should have got up and gone see him, hold his hand and told him, you're strong. Don't give up no matter what's gonna happen. Told him, I wish I told him, even if you passed away, don't give up. But I didn't. Man. Some things you are happy you didn't do, some things you're not happy you didn't do. I'm happy that when he looked at me, I saw he was proud. Like looking at me saying, take care of your mom. I literally, when I saw him like that, I hit the wall and I fell straight to my knees. I didn't look at anybody. Then I called somebody, told them my dad's on life support. I knew it was life support. Everyone was saying it wasn't. You have a tube down your throat and not letting you take it out. You got all these machines hooked up to you, beeping, watching your heart monitor, watching everything. You have something taking oxygen and putting it into your lungs for you. You're on life support. And people are saying he wasn't on life support. I know he was on life support. I know he was dying when I was there. I knew he was going to pass away. But I kept telling myself over and over and over, he'll make it through. He's been through this before. He might be old, he might be stubborn, but he was my dad and he was strong. And then his funeral came around. Now, this is where it comes chaotic, and how I deal with my parents' past, my dad passing. If this helps you guys, I hope it does. If it just makes it like, oh, you're just talking about love life, or your sadness, whatever, don't be here. Just go. Don't need to be rude. You go to the therapist, you talk to people. Well, this is how I talk when stuff are loading. If you don't like it, go to another channel, please. So anyways, to get back to where it was. When it came around for his funeral, I didn't go. The night before, tells you why. Our families got together, my dad passed away, my niece asks me, what's wrong with Jennifer? She's my sister now. I give her $60. I help her all the time, and I get spit on by it, so I'm done helping her, and she's not part of my family no more. My number one rule is you never turn your back on family. How can I not turn my back on somebody who's like, oh yeah, and then they disconnect booths and talk shit behind your back to everybody, saying, oh, you're a heroin addict. I'm like, really? If I was a heroin addict, why would I be sitting here talking to my YouTube channels, my viewers? You know? Well, I said, well, her boyfriend passed away because he got hit by a car. She got all mad and stormed out, and then her mother told me to sit down. I'm like, I looked at him like, buzz off really loud to her, and I left, and I went for a walk, didn't come back at all until it was probably 1 a.m. in the morning. And I've been out in the woods where hunting grounds are, and I got poison ivy all over me from it. Then the next day I didn't go to the funeral because I didn't want to see Sharon or Jennifer. Like, you're talking shit at my dad's wake. And if you're a gentleman, you never hit a girl. So Well, his wake came around. The after party is like the wake. No, it wasn't the wake. The wake came around. I didn't go. I couldn't bear seeing my dad like that and be in a room with those two whores. Give me. And their names are Sharon Sweeney and Jennifer Sweeney. If you guys are on hate mail, but I don't care. They were dicks and they were never a part of my family and never will be. Even my mom says that. To get back to what we're doing, what I'm saying is the after party came around and people started saying stuff about my dad. Well, in the middle of all that, I went to the bar. I was talking with Mrs. M. Now, Mrs. M was one of my old teachers from school. She was like, oh, you need to eat something, because she knew I did not eat anything all that day. So the time came around to where she went to go to Sam's, and then Sharon comes over and says, you have no right speaking to me like that. You know she's going through trauma. Like, number one is you're at my father's wake. Number two is my father just died. Her boyfriend, she didn't really get along, by the way. Two, she's going around saying she's a lesbian. And three, you're not my fucking mom. And I wanted to throw my drink in her face so hard that the glass would go straight and hit her in the head. But I didn't, because you're not supposed to do that. So while I was walking away, she said, you're a fucking nobody. You're a bum-ass bitch. And then their cousins are running out and, wondering what the hell's happening. Then Jennifer comes out and says, you're a fucking nobody. You're a fucking dumb bitch. You shouldn't even be alive. I'm like, back the fuck off before I knock you the flat out. I'll say it, knock you the fuck out. Right on the scare, flat. And I was really about 5 seconds away from hitting her, because she was gonna follow me. If she would have followed me to the end of that fucking little road there, to the point where I get on the street to turn to go see my old house and stuff, I swear she would have probably been knocked out. And I know you're supposed to never hit a girl, but she deserves to get punched. She lies, she cons people. Oh, and another thing is, she's not even that pretty. So, to get back to where we were, I usually never say anything like that, but I hate my stepsister. I seriously do. You're going around and saying, oh, I got raped by my uncle. I didn't fucking... Okay, first off, where's the... I always told her, you want shit done, show me the freaking rape papers. There was no rape papers. Show me the police report. There was no police report. Even my father, mom, my whole family even went turning our backs on them because they all knew I didn't do it. And she's a liar. She'll go around and lie like that. She lies a lot. I'm talking about, like, my God, she doesn't know when to stop. But I'm not going to stop talking about her. But to get back to where we were, I walked down the road, and I wanted to walk in traffic so bad, I started heading towards the traffic. I was like, what's the point, I'm here in Connecticut, and I'm freaking don't know what to do. My father's dead. My family's fighting like dumb shits. My head is telling me to kill myself, while the other part of me is like, go get help. You can live through this. Be strong. So I turned my body around, saw a young guy in a black suit, looked like a broker. I asked, do you have a phone? And he said no at first. I'm like, oh, that's cool, don't worry about it, because I'm thinking about killing myself, and I thought, I don't want to give anybody here trauma. And he's like, oh, I got a phone. I'm saying to myself, wait, you just told me you didn't have a phone. See? Everybody lies in this world. What the fuck? Someone comes up to you and asks you, can I have a phone? They ask, why do you need a phone? It's like, oh, I need to call for a ride or something. Like, oh yeah, you can call for a ride. Here, take my phone. I'll let anybody use my phone. As long as if you start running off with it, you better pray to God you run fast. Because I will be around like, I know where you're running, right? I'll watch you. If you take a left, I'm gonna take a shortcut and go left and come around the other block. As my friend keeps chasing you, I'm gonna come around the other side and I'm gonna clothesline you. Shit, if you look like a big dude, I ain't gonna fucking clothesline you. You'll fucking tackle me and push me out the way. I'll fucking like wait for you and then hang off the side of a building or something and kick you right in the face so you fall over. And then take my phone. I'll be knocked out from my feet in your face. But the guy eventually did call for help. I went to the hospital. I cried there for, real men don't cry. That's bullshit. I cried that whole night. And then they let me go. I went to I came out of the hospital. My whole family was there, right there for me. And I was expecting, nobody to show up at the hospital. I was expecting, like, nobody to even care. Like, you don't want me. The family doesn't want me. Why the hell am I here? Everything I do is help people, and they get spit on for it. Like, really? I love helping people. Today, I bought a random little girl wanted some candy, and she's like, Mommy, I want some candy. She started crying. And, I'm like, you know what? She's like, I want the gummy bear. I bought her the box of gummy bears. And her mother looked at me like, is this dude seriously just buy my daughter the gummy bears? We were walking out, I turned around, and she's just running at me with the biggest smile. And then she stopped, looked at me, and we walked out. And I always wondered, what did the mom do? It's always going to be a mystery for me. So, your cat's trying to kill. Thanks, Ashley. Your cat's trying to kill you. Ha. 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 Thanks for saying my cat's trying to kill me. So, I was taken to the hospital. I came back and I'm asking, I'm not telling like my mom, I'm not going back to that hotel with them there. Like, you want to stay here, I'll stay with Poppy, or I'll live at a shelter until it's time for us to go back. I don't care. I am not going back to that hotel. I was like, oh no, they left. And my mom and my cousin's father said, actually, I heard it from my aunt, Robin. She's like, well, you won't believe what Chuck did. I have never seen Chuck act like this. He got up in that woman's face, screamed at her, told me she had no right. Do you see where you're at? You're at his father's freaking funeral. You have no right. Go. And they left. And I was like, Uncle Chuck, and he said, sure did. Wasn't the time or place. And my heart sank. I'm like, my family cares. My dad cared all these years. After the stuff I put him through, yelling at him, us getting into little arguments. Sometimes we would laugh about our arguments. I loved that about him. But when you really see how connected you are with your family, times you might hate each other, times you might, disagree, and sometimes you don't get what you want, doesn't mean you have to hate your parents. Oh, my father didn't get me this stuff. So what? You see what else he got you? Look at all the other gifts your parents get you. Look at the sentimental values. Shit, if I was a kid on Christmas and I got clothes, I still love the clothes. I would wear them. I got so excited about them. Like, I couldn't show it because I didn't want to feel like a dork, but when I got upstairs I would go nuts. I was like, oh, I got clothes again this year. Oh, I was messing with them. I hope they took it the right way. I was actually happy that I was being in a family that had Christmas together. And I remember the day my dad, I wake up this one morning and my father is outside and I hear this car. And I'm looking out the window and it's a Lexus. He got me a convertible, very old Lexus convertible. Old. No, Mercedes. My bad, it was a Mercedes. It had looked like I had 3 points. Looked like a star shine. It was a Mercedes. It was a Mercedes convertible, old school. And I loved it. I drove that thing. I didn't have a license, but I still took it out. And I drove it. I drove that thing so much that the cops were called. And luckily I wasn't driving it that day. And they're like, oh, Charlie, you have a warrant out for your arrest. And I'm like, why? You weren't at court. Now, if everyone's like, why were you supposed to be at court? I was in the middle of a disturbance in Bristol. And I was staying at an apartment at the time. And this guy threw a pot at the window. Because he was mad that I was playing my games. You know, I was trying to do my channel. My old channel. And next day, I did the same thing because I got mad at him for breaking the pot over my face. Not actually, like, throwing it over. And then hitting the wall. And, well, they called the cops on me. And instead of me going to jail, they gave me a seat. And they're like, oh, he's going to shoot me with that gun. First off, when they looked at the gun, they saw that the barrel was bent down because when I was playing airsoft, I jumped on a rock and I dropped the M60 and it went down and we're trying to get it out, so everybody was coming. And one kid said, oh, just pull it out this way, and he just bent the barrel and we're like, oh, fuck. And I was down there, you know, bending the barrel back and everything. And the gun was still wouldn't fire. So it's like, oh, so you said you'll shoot me with that gun with little bullets and shit, and nothing could shoot real. First off, an airsoft gun can't be converted to shoot real bullets. I'm sorry, but no. Not happening. Because they're plastic insides. You can't use a gun with plastic insides to shoot a bullet. The firing pin as a plastic would break and melt right on scene. The trigger mechanisms, if they were plastic, they would not work. I'm telling you, it's not happening. Maybe if they come up with the right technology. No, I've never said. Oh, excuse me. I've never said it would never happen. Maybe later on. Maybe. But no. And they're looking at it, they open it, they see it, and I'm like, well, can I take my rifles with me? No, you have to leave those here. You're not allowed to have any guns and weapons. I'm like, first off, an airsoft gun isn't a weapon. It's a toy. T-O-Y for adults. It's like a Halloween prop. Why is the barrel's bent? What do you think, I'm gonna run in some freaking bank with a bent M60 barrel? Oh yes, everybody get down. Don't worry, the bullets will just blow me up. Freaking idiots, and because some people are idiots. So that's why. And I went to the court thing. I actually went now. Avon and Bristol are about 12 miles apart to where I had to go. So I walked it twice that night. I told myself I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna stay right here in Bristol. I won't go home and, you know, try to get something to keep myself warm. So I ended up walking to the house in Avon, and I went in the barn for a while. The barn wasn't really that warm. So I wanted to go in the house, but my parents wouldn't let me in the house because they said I'd mess it up and stuff. So I kicked the porch door in. Now, once the board kicked it in to stay warm, now, don't forget, guys, this is in February. This is very cold weather. It was minus degrees outside, and all I had on was a hoodie, I think. Not very good pants either. So, I went to my grandma's. She denied me. She said she wanted me to feel how it was to be left alone with no one to help. That hurt me. After that, I'd never trust her again. She lost my trust completely. I don't even talk to her anymore. She has Alzheimer's. And my mom keeps telling me to call her. I won't. She's been there for me all my life. But once you turn family down, how am I supposed to let that go? Now, to get back to where you were, a warrant was put out for me. Oh, you didn't show up for court. I'm like, I did show up for court. You want to have the charges, like, you know, dropped, you know, like, for the restraining order and stuff. They put a restraining order on me. I should have put one on them for the first night, and I didn't know the law at the time. So that was my first time being alone in an apartment with 2 other people. And so I went to jail. My dad's like, that's bullcrap. He was not, this is what they said. Oh, he was outside, you know, on the skateboard now. My axle was broken on my skateboard. The right wheel was cracked all the way from riding it so much. The board was about to snap in half, and they're telling me, oh, first off, my dad's like, no, that's not the first time you guys came down. The first time he came down here was for this and that, and saying that he was out there with the rifles, and really, we were all out for dinner. My dad got mad at us for it, and then they're like, oh, Charlie, we need to talk to you. You know, you were outside on the skateboard, and this and that. And where are your airsoft rifles? I'm like, all my airsoft rifles don't work right now. All my fucking airsoft rifles are in the attic. Well, we saw you on your skateboard. I'm like, did you see the person with glowing wheels and a broken axle on their skateboard? Now, if you guys don't know what the axle on the skateboard is, it's the trucks. You people call them trucks, I call them axles. The broken truck, I'll say for that for the skaters. It's been a while since I had to talk skater language. Trucks were broken, the bearings were broken, the wheel was snapped a little bit, the board was pretty much ready to snap in half. And like, if you see somebody like that willing to risk their life to go down a hill like that on that type of board that's ready to break right when you stand on it because it's been grinded so much on, then yeah. But no, I didn't go. I was with my parents. I have witnesses. My mom's like, get out of the house, get out of our basement, get us now. We lived in 124 Northgate, Avon, Connecticut. You guys can look that address up. You'll see how big the house was. And my mom's just saying, get out the house, get out the house. And I'm like, Mom, chill. And it's like, man, if you do not chill, we will arrest you. And I was like, oh my God. My dad got furious, and when they found out they were taking me to jail because I had a warrant on me, and they're asking me, do you know you have a warrant out? I'm like, no. I never knew I had a warrant out for me. I you know, got in trouble in Florida for, you know, being a little too tipsy. And, well, that's a lie. I'm not going to lie. For trying to hurt myself. And they let me come back with my parents because I got medicine to help me, and that medicine never helped. And they were like, you know, oh, well, he never had a, like if I had a warrant out in Connecticut, you know, Florida would have got the memo, because I basically, you know, they know we were going to Florida, because basically I told them, like, do I have a warrant out for me? And they're like, no. Okay, I'm going to Florida. And I was with my Poppy at the time in Wawa, and yeah. Poppy took me to the airport. I lost my ticket, being stupid, you know me. If you guys don't know me, I like to buy the drinks and the food and get a couple of pillows, a blanket, and a good book to read with some music. Oh, best plane ride you'll ever have. And they never said I had a warrant out. They said, do I have any warrants? They would arrest them on the spot. And I thought, wait, what if, no, that makes no sense. Still in the United States, yeah. They should have said, well, you have a warrant out in Connecticut, so we're going to have to put you on a transfer flight and I'll put you back in Connecticut, No, they didn't do that at all. They just said, okay, we'll help you, and you could be on your way. So, we were on our way home. And back to Avon. And my dad's like, that wasn't right what they did. They shouldn't come into our, now I'm talking about when this is before my dad died, and this is before we moved to Florida. And my dad's like, that's not right. My aunt Gail, she was shocked, like, well, what's going on? Like, you were with me and Aunt Jackie, your mom and dad, we had a wonderful night, you were on your best behavior, like, I've never seen you on that type of behavior. You got the car doors, you opened the doors for them to go to the restaurant, you made sure all of us were, set to eat. What? Why is he being arrested? It's because of that court thing. It was a stupid fight over a stupid reason. People losing their anger. Now, people losing their anger, you want to throw something, that's fine. You're not being disturbing to me if you're going to throw a coffee pot at me, at the wall. But you better be careful what you do next. And after that, I got a little scared, so I hid some knives around the place. I taped one on top of above the door. I taped one at the and we had a shotgun in the house. And I paid for it. And I'll tell you right now, that guy in that house took that shotgun because he knew he'd get in trouble for me for having it because I bought it for him. And he said he got all the papers done. No, he didn't. And he took that shotgun. I never got that shotgun back. Never seen it again. It's all happened because I was playing my video game, doing my job. I had the volume off. It was the light that was bothering him. I'm like, you never fall asleep with the TV on at night? How does that bother you? Makes no sense to me. No sense at all. So, he got mad. I got mad. And that's how it happened. So years later, we're back to where my dad died. I still think, I wonder, what if I came to see him? What would he have told me? What would we have talked about in his last few minutes? But I'm glad I said what I said the last words I told my dad was, he's an old fart. He'll make it. He's a strong old fart. He smiled and looked at me. That was my dad, guys. So, let's get out of the depressing news. I just wanted to get that out there because if you guys are wondering why I haven't been broadcasting, that's why. So let's get into this. This is Mafia. Once it's ready to go, it'll let us know. It's just installing. What would I tell you guys? What else should I say to you guys? So love your parents, alright? So if you're wondering why I just said that, just go back and just listen to everything I just said, and you'll see why I said, don't hate your family. Be happy you got them around while they are. So they won't last forever. No one does. Alrighty, so I really want to get into doing this, but we were kind of stuck here for a little while. I gotta plug my phone in. If you guys are wondering why my voice sounds like this, I'm getting sick. I threw up already. It was a little while ago. I threw up at the gas station. So, what else was I gonna tell everybody here? I don't know where my phone charger is. I can't. I also have a hurt arm and a hand. It's like if I'm trying to find them, I think it's in the other room. But I slept in here, so. And, you know, once you guys realize how much you care, then you seriously see the truth. Oh, I know where it is. I had a whole personal memory for a second. Alright, I'm back. Just give me a minute here. Let me grab the mic. Alright. So I hurt my hand pretty bad. I was well, not really skateboarding. I don't want to lie to you guys either. Well, I really don't want to lie at all, so I'm just going to leave that one a mystery to you. If you're there and saw it, or you know me in person, you know why. I don't feel like, stretching the story and being like, oh yeah, this happened. Oh, and this happened, Oh, and the ninja came out of the woods and effed me up. No. Oh, he got hit by a car. No. I'm still here, guys, just to let everybody here know. Ow. My hand hurts a little bit, but I'm fine. What? I'm watching you play, but you talking. You go to hospital? Huh? I was talking about everything that happened in my life. Depressing parts. So you guys understand why I wasn't broadcasting those days. I'm perfectly fine. Well, I did get sick earlier, but that's from like too much candy and other stuff. So meanwhile in Turkey, did you guys hear about the turkeys in Russia? They're training them to have AKs. Alright, so we're just gonna be having a talk here. It's still at 12%. Why are you at 12%? Why are you not going up? How's Hitman? Hold on, let's see how Hitman's doing. Manhunt.